With all the failures we've seen from the Marvel Cinematic Universe over the past few years, it's been pretty obvious to nearly everyone with a working brain that the Marvels was going to be a failure for the MCU. The only question was, how bad would it be? A movie that we recently found out has one of the most expensive budgets in MCU history. Nearly $300 million had already been spent on this thing through September of last year. That doesn't include another round of reshoots. That doesn't include a bunch of the post-production work that has to be done. In all likelihood, this is a movie that they spent upwards of $300 million, potentially $350 million on. And that doesn't even factor in the marketing. This is something that's break-even point at the box office is somewhere in the realm of $800 to $900 million. And everybody knew it wasn't going to get anywhere close to that. The promotional material has been cringe as hell. Trailers getting ratioed. Well, now, a few weeks out, we're finally understanding just how bleak this future is for the MCU. Here we go. Long-range box office forecast. Marvel Studios, The Marvels. 2023's holiday movie season gets its first tentpole release on November 10th with the 33rd chapter of the MCU, The Marvels, hitting the big screen. And we may as well spoil the whole story. I mean, if you tuned in, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, you already knew it was going to be bad. You might not have understood just how bad it's going to be. The Marvels is long-range tracking to earn $50 to $75 million in its domestic box office opening. That is abysmal. That's not anywhere close to something like, oh, say, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which still, despite it being a massive failure, that still opened over $100 million opening weekend. But no, the Marvels is sitting here between 50 and 75 million, and it could get worse because the pre-sales are significantly down right now. The pre-sale trends are 70% behind the pace of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which opened to 118 million, by the way, and 42% behind Eternals. Eternals, which barely made $400 million. So, no, we're not talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania level of failure, which some people is what they expected for this movie. We might be talking about The Flash, because The Flash opened to $55 million domestically on its way to about $270 million worldwide for its total run. This is shaping up to be the biggest flop in Marvel Cinematic Universe history. Let's look at this. Here it is right here. Opening weekend range, 50 to 75 million. Domestic total range, 121 million to 189 million. Very wide right now. And to be fair, this early on, we're about a month out from this movie. That's when we start to get these first projections. It could wildly swing. You never know. Something like Barbie, that was not projected as big as it got, but then it just kept growing and growing and growing as we got closer to the release date. Somehow, I don't think that's going to be the case for the Marvels, but I just want to throw it out there. It could get higher, or it could get much, much lower. When we look at the MCU and its history, take a look. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania opened to $106 million opening weekend. Ended up with $463 million at the box office. Lost money for Marvel. Massive flop. Very embarrassing. What about Eternals? That's also something that the Marvels is tracking way less than right now. Look at Eternals. $71 million opening. Now, right now, the Marvels, supposedly, they think it might be in that realm. Well, for Eternals, it says the pre-sales are tracking 42% less than Eternals. Yet that only opened to $71 million. Went on to hit about $400 million worldwide. The Marvels, like we said, one of the most expensive films they've ever had. In all likelihood, will crack at least $300 million production budget. The marketing is at a bare minimum $100 million as well. And considering they only get about half of the receipts from the box office, you only get to take about half of that money back to the actual studio, the rest goes to the theaters, we're looking at a multi-$100 million disaster for Disney and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We knew the news was going to be bad. The only question was, how bad would it be? Well, the answer is it might be one of the biggest flops and failures in the history of the MCU. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. I knew October 12th was the day that we'd get this forecast. It's here, and it did not disappoint me, but I'm sure it's disappointing to Disney. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.